Hey guys, Bird Yugioh here, coming at you with another deck profile. This time it's going to be ABC from my last version. This is just a little bit of a different version. I added a little engine in here that I think just adds a whole new dimension to the deck and really makes it really nice and control. You just kind of control the board and then go into your ABC Dragon Buster, and then more than likely you'll win after that, because you'll just have so much advantage. Basically, when you go into ABC Dragon Buster, and then on your opponent's turn, if you can tag it out into your pieces, you're just gaining so much advantage, and it's such a great deck. I love ABCs, so if you haven't already, go and subscribe. I have tons of more stuff like this. Especially if you like ABCs, it's one of my favorite decks, so I'll be doing quite a bit of this, especially once Master Rule 5 is released in April. This is going to be a really good deck and one of my go-tos. So starting off with 3 A Assault Core. Basically all of them are Union monsters, so they can equip to basically the other A, B, or C, the other Union monsters. And if he's equipped to a monster, it's unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. And then if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Union monster from your graveyard to your hand. And then B Buster Drake, when he's equipped, that card is unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Union monster from your deck to your hand. And then lastly, we play 3 Sea Crush Wyvern. The equipped monster is unaffected by your opponent's trap effects. And if this is sent to the grave, you special summon 1 Union monster from your hand. I've said it before, but they all just work very well together. I love them at 3. He adds from graveyard to hand, he adds from deck to hand, and then he special summons from hand. So they all just really work very well together. And then a new addition that I'm trying is 1 Heavy Mech Support Armor. It is really good. Sometimes you would rather not see it, as opposed to one of these. He's a level 3, but the equip monster, your opponent cannot target a monster to equip with this card, with card effects. And then also with any of them, if the monster they're equipped to would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one of these instead. But he also, the main reason we're playing him, you can obviously search him off of like B Buster Drake, and if he's normal summoned, you target 1 Union monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So it's just a way of special summoning from the grave. You really don't have cards that do that. You have mostly cards that'll special summon from your hand. So it's nice to have him in here. And then the best complement to the ABCs, in my opinion, is going to be the gadgets. 2 gold gadget and 2 silver gadget. They do the same thing. You normal summon this card, and then you can special summon 1 level 4 machine type monster from your hand. And then when either one, so like say this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 gadget from your deck. So they kind of float. So, say you have this on field, your opponent attacks it. You can then special summon gold. If gold is destroyed, then you can special summon a silver again. So it's really nice just for defensive as far as that goes. And then my new addition I did in my last deck profile, but one that I'm going to be more than likely playing in all the builds because it's so good, is Gizmek Yada. You can special summon him by tributing 1 normal summon monster. And then during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned, you can normal summon 1 monster. So it basically, if you have like say C, then you normal summon C, and then you tribute C to special summon out Gizmek Yada. And if you have another piece in hand, then you can gain an additional normal summon and summon, like an A Assault Core. So it really helps your engine go a lot easier, get their graveyard effects off. It's just a perfect card for this deck, in my opinion. It's really good. And then I still play the Gammas, 3 Gamma and 1 Driver. It's amazing when you're going second. And honestly, even if you're going first, say you have this, and a Union Hanger. Your opponent's going to want to do something to this most of the time. So, if they're trying to like Ghost Ogre it or Ash Blossom when you try to add, you can just negate that with Gamma and then get free bodies on the board to then just go into more monsters. So I really like them. And then obviously, like I said, going second, there's nothing better than your opponent going into one of their main Link monsters or main monsters and just trying to get an effect, and you just negate it with Gamma. So good. And then the little small engine I was talking about, we're playing Artifacts. And just playing one Scythe. It's probably a good idea to side in, like Moral Attack or Lancia, just depending on matchups. But in this version, or the main deck, playing just one Scythe, and that's going to really help you control the board so your opponent can't special summon from their extra deck. And then on to the spells. Best field spell in the game, Union Hanger. It's everything you need all in one card. Get that spec off of there. When it's activated, you add one light machine type monster from your deck to your hand. And then if a light machine type Union monster is normal or special summoned to the field, you can target one of those and equip a light machine type Union monster from your deck to that monster. So it just gets, like I said, gets your whole engine going. And then 3 super polymerization, especially now, with Shadal's running around like crazy. Invoked Shadal's also, and then Spirals. Super Poly is very, very good in all of those matchups. It's one of your better, going second cards in this deck, and honestly not bad to even set one when you're going first, and then once your opponent gets, either 2 monsters with the same attribute or 2 dark monsters, you're going to have a way of getting rid of those very easily. So Super Poly is just so good. 3 Twin Twisters. Again, it's gonna for most of the meta, at least at like locals and stuff, I find you're going to be facing a lot of decks that like to play back row, and so I like to play Twin Twisters just to get rid of 2 back row just like that, and also getting a piece into the grave easily with Twin Twisters is nice. So I like it in the main, but you could of course side it if you want to. 1 Terraforming, obviously, to search out your field spell. Pot of Avarice, again, you should be able to get a pretty good amount of monsters in the grave to activate this. 1 Card Destruction. Again, getting monsters to the graveyard, especially your pieces, so that you can then banish them to get out ABC Dragon Buster, is not a bad thing, and fixing bad hands as well. Foolish Burial, send a piece you need to the grave. And Monster Reborn, special summon back whatever you need. And then we play the 3 Sanctum. We play the 1 Scythe, 3 Sanctum. I like that ratio, and potentially, you could take out, Pot of Avarice, Card Destruction if you don't like those, and add in a Moral Attack if you would like to do that, but I find just 1 is good enough. And then 1 Metaverse. Just again, I find most of the time I have a really hard time, hard drawing Union Hanger. It's just my luck. So I just thought another way of searching it out is needed. So added in a Metaverse. And then the extra deck, most obvious one is going to be 3 ABC Dragon Buster. You definitely shouldn't play it at less than 3, because there'll be times when you're trying to tag out or something, or you don't quite tag out and they kaiju it, and you're still going to need at least a couple in your extra deck to be able to go into. But he's an amazing card, and it's going to be even better. Master Rule 5, being able to just make these in the main monster zone instead of having to rely on Link monsters or taking up your extra monster zone. It's going to be really nice. So 3 of him for sure. And then our Super Poly targets are Mud Dragon, if your opponent plays a lot of the same attribute, but different types, Mud Dragon's really nice. And then Starving Venom for dark decks, basically. And then our rank 4s, Dugaris for draw power and special summoning from the grave. Abyss Dweller, shutting off the graveyard for your opponent. And Tornado Dragon for those pesky back row decks. And then your main link monster that you're going to be wanting to go into is Platinum Gadget. So good. He's going to be special summoning a level 4 lower machine monster from your hand. And if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a gadget from your deck. So your gold or silver gadget. Really nice. The only problem with him is you can't link with him the turn you make it. But that's not that bad of a thing. And then your next best one that you're always going to want to make, if possible, is Barricade Blocker. If it's link summoned, you can discard a card. And then during the end phase, you add a field spell from your graveyard to your hand. You're mostly just using it to discard, or it also face-up spells you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, so it'll protect your Union Hanger, which is really nice as well. So a lot of times I find if I open, decent with like a piece, Union Hanger, and some type of extender like Gizmek Yada, or Gold Gadget, Silver Gadget, you can go into Platinum Gadget, and then you'll also be able to make a Barricade Board Blocker and have AB's Dragon Buster, all on your first turn. I see that very, very often, so it's not uncommon, and that's definitely not weak at all. That is very, very strong board. And if you have an Artifact Lance or a Sanctum set as well, your opponent's not doing anything. So 1 IP Masquerena, it's the most universal link monster in the game, and I find especially in this deck, since you're going to be tagging out your ABC Dragon Buster, you'll be able to use IP Masquerena like so easily, because you're going to be having extra monsters to link her to go into Unicorn, which is a really good disruption on your opponent's turn. And we also play Phoenix, Cerberus, just for utility purposes. And then the last link monster we play is just Borreload Dragon. It's honestly, if you go into an ABC Dragon Buster, your next turn, you'll more than likely, if you need to, be able to easily go into a Borreload, and it just gets rid of a lot of problem cards. So I really like Borreload in this deck, because it's just so easy to make. So yeah, that's the deck, guys. Obviously, one of my favorite decks. I've done this a lot on the channel, but I feel it's just a really nice. It's great at going first, great at going second. Those are my favorite decks that you can just, you don't have to rely on your side deck. Your side deck is more just there to help you out, as opposed to, oh, I'm going second, so I'm screwed. This deck can go first or second just as easily. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, go and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.